Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a timeless reading. This energy was activated the moment you clicked on this video. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that 9 of Pentacles. You're somebody who is, I think you're living a very successful life. I think you're someone with a lot of resources. You have you're a very helpful person, right? You like to sort of, you like to do things for other people. I feel like you're the one that's kind of, you're the one that's throwing the party for other people. You're the one that's making sure other people have a good time. When you have people over at your house, I feel like you're the one that's doing the cooking, the cleaning, the hosting, the hostessing, and you're making sure everybody else is enjoying themselves, right? But at the same time, I feel like you like to kick back and enjoy everybody around you as well, you know? I feel like you're very good at socializing in that way. You want everybody to sort of to walk away from their interaction with you thinking, wow, I want to do that again. You know, you're maybe a people person. Maybe you're very good at organizing meetings or parties or something like this, right? Some sort of event. But I feel like right now in life, you're trying to do more of what you like. You're trying to do more of what is working. Yeah. So we're trying to grow more. This is a card of growth, of gain, of progress, the visible sign of progress. I think we're looking to reach some sort of metrics. We are, this isn't about a specific goal. This is about living a successful life and what that means to you. Okay. And I think it means sort of progress. Even if it's very slow, it's still getting better each time we do something. Every day working on something that makes us feel at the end of the day that I did something today. I made some progress today. Today was a success, you know. And I think we're living this life, and I think it feels really good. I want to look at some more energy, though, okay? This is really good news. On top of that, we have, okay. We've got a Knight of Swords coming in. Now, this could be an older male energy. We've got the Sun card. We've got an Ace of Pentacles, yes. We've got a Knight of Pentacles looking at the future, and we've got a 4 of Wands. Yes, I feel like something has, something you started here, I feel like is, something is prompting you to say, okay, I'm finishing up this particular project, and I'm gearing up for the next one, perhaps. Here we have the World card, or the Universe. We have a Queen of Swords. There could be a partnership of like-minded individuals. Okay, I think maybe if somebody's entering your life, again, it could be an older male energy, entering your life with a really good idea or with like a really sort of interesting proposal, okay, that you're giving some attention to, giving some thought toward, okay. We have a 7 of Pentacles, obviously, in that position, but we have the Builder with a Prince. Very interesting with the Court cards here. So I do feel like this is your opportunity. This is an opportunity appearing in your life. I feel like it's by way of an older male energy, maybe an air sign person, but it's an opportunity coming your way to do something different, to sort of to make some small course corrections in your life. And it's kind of like we're sort of looking at this and wondering, do I want to go down this road? Maybe it's a new job offer. Maybe it's a friend that says, hey, let's go do this stuff. Let's go join this club. Let's start this business together. Let's go on this vacation. Let's start this new hobby. Let's go to the gym together, or whatever it is, right? And I feel that you are, you're considering all of the things that might go into that. sort of gathering data. What's it going to cost me? What's the time frame? What resources am I going to need? What sort of skills am I going to have to learn? How is this going to affect my long-term future? How is this going to affect my life as it is right now? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll set it down right here and put Michael Scott right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you may know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Now, looking around the room, we've got two major arcana energies, the sun and the universe itself. This is the most fundamental sort of idea of a purpose or a destiny that we could get, right? Because you are a star in space doing what a star does. Hurtling through space at astronomical speeds, gathering things around you, planets come, planets go, other stars, you form a binary relationship, and then that, you're traveling on your own trajectory. Okay? And I think that what we're trying to do is look at the situation look at our current life and look at these opportunities that you have for this sort of a new dance, in your big long-term cosmic trajectory. Because sometimes we forget that, the sun is not a stationary object, right? And the planets are just revolving around the sun, if you believe in that sort of thing. But the sun itself is traveling through space, okay, on its own orbit around the galactic center, right, whatever that is. A black hole maybe, or who knows. But you've got this sense of this bigger picture of life. And I think you're someone who's very adventurous, and you're very much open to new things. You don't pretend to know exactly how your life is supposed to go, even when we are very comfortable in the life that we have now. You're someone that is going to entertain the ideas of a different sort of a new twist or turn in your fate, right? In your destiny. And I think that is us accepting that, this solar nature of ours, our true soul has its own path through the cosmos that we, as in our human intellect and human heart and mind, we don't know all the answers. So we're trying to look at this situation and ask, is this a sign? Is this what I'm meant to do to make this shift in my life? Or, is there something else going on, right? So we have two major arcana energies. We have you knowing who you are and why you're here, and always working to uncover more of that. See, this is under the surface. So we want to always be digging deeper. Who am I? Why am I here? We get into this sort of mode just like this, and we just feel like we've got a routine in our life, right? I plant the seed of something, I harvest it, repeat. Plant, harvest, repeat. Plant, harvest, repeat. And then we have this new, it's sort of a wrench being thrown into things. A new person, I think, coming your way. That's going to maybe alter the course of this, rinse and repeat kind of thing, plant, harvest, repeat. And we're wondering, like, okay, how is this part of who I am and why I'm here? Is this something that I need to embrace? And what would it involve if I did embrace this, right? And of course, with the world card, the universe card, we're always looking to expand our world, our life. We're always looking to remove boundaries, looking for new experiences, right? Looking to push the edges of space, I think that we are always at the cutting edge of consciousness. Everyone who's alive right now is at the cutting edge of consciousness. This moment has never happened before. All of us, every moment, are pushing the edge of the universe out a little bit. Okay? And I feel like this is something that is very important to you. If it's an opportunity to do something that you've never done before, I feel like you're very excited about that. Okay? So we have a little bit of fire. Okay? We don't have any water. We've got the air. Okay. And then we've got earth, 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 earth. Even this is earth, right? This is the sun. This is the universe. It's an earth, sort of symbolic earth energy. So a lot of earth. This is very much about your practical life, your material life, your physical existence on this plane, and what you're doing with it, what you're building, what the future, how the future is changing for you. When you look into the distance, you see a picture. Now you're looking again, and you see that the picture's different now. It's changed a little bit. So that's kind of what we're considering. Do we like the way this picture has changed? And since there's no water cards, it's not really about whether you like it or not. It's not about whether, hey, that future of mine, it feels good, and I want to go that way. We're not taking that into consideration, really, how we feel, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. No, we're kind of looking at the future and thinking, is that my path? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that what my soul is telling me? Is that the spiritual light that's feeding into my consciousness and saying, this is the direction that I need to go? We know it's going to be a mixture of pleasant and unpleasant emotions and sort of a complex mixture of challenges and rewards, right? A lot of earth energy here. I think that there is an older male energy that's going to come into your life with a proposal or an opportunity or even just a conversation that leads to reconsidering our future. Okay? The Nine of Pentacles, again, is this energy that is making progress. We're looking to always be advancing. We're looking to always be growing, self-development, spiritual development, maybe financial, physical development, maybe our career development, developing new skills. You know what I mean? We're always looking to go forward and not backward. And you're living a life where, any opportunity that comes in, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to really look at it honestly. And ask myself, is this leading me to more growth? Or is it kind of going backwards, right? And I think that this is a situation that you realize is going to lead to further growth for you. So I believe that you're taking this. Maybe this is a job offer that's not a lateral, not a lateral move, but an upward move in your career or your financial life or in your personal development or whatever we're talking about. Okay. In some ways, it is, I think, coming through an older male energy, but it's basically an idea that's coming to you through this person as the messenger. And you're taking this idea and you're thinking, is this going to lead to growth for me or not? I believe that it is. Okay. By the looks of these cards, I believe that it truly is. The sun underneath the surface is, of course, that awareness of yourself, looking at everything through that spiritual lens. Not the lens of human ego, but the lens of true self, higher self. Okay? Trying to always be asking the question. Everything is a piece of data that's helping us answer the question, who am I and why am I here? I feel like you're somebody who is very in tune with your true self. Okay? I think that you had a lot of teachers over the course of your life. Spirit's saying that there's one teacher in particular that really changed your life. And I don't know if it was maybe it was a spiritual teacher or it's somebody that sort of put you on a particular kind of religious or spiritual path. Yeah. And you read a lot. Yeah. So I think you have an intense knowledge of self, and I think that you are always trying to do what your higher self would do, right? What would Spirit do in this case? I think we're trying to not judge things with our sort of human heart and mind, our ego consciousness, but look at it from that higher perspective, that solar perspective, and see it in the bigger picture too. This card's clarity about past, present, and future. I think that you're somebody who probably has had some sort of past life memories coming back. And I think that you've been having more memories lately. Memories of things, this is weird. I'm hearing that you've been remembering things, but it doesn't feel like they're your memories. Right? That's past life stuff. That is even future life. Future life memories. And I think that you've been experiencing more things of that nature. Spirit's saying journal, journal, journal. Write everything down. Okay, write everything down. You have to do what is going to be best for your spiritual self, for your internal spiritual awareness. And I think that's one of the things that we're really considering when we are entertaining this new idea, let's say. And this could be, it doesn't have to be a really big shift either. See, that's the interesting thing, is that this just could be, let's go on a weekend getaway. Let's go on a little trip, or let's just go see that particular movie today instead of doing kind of what we were planning on doing. It's an unexpected shift in the expected course of events in your day. Okay, and we're sort of looking at how that is reshaping our entire future. Something as small as instead of going to the restaurant, you've chosen to go to the movies, right? Just a simple difference of activities, no matter how small. It's kind of like, am I gonna put my left shoe on first or my right shoe on first? You know, but it's coming by way of this older male energy as the messenger, bringing you this idea to do something differently than what you were going to do, right? And it could be something big, like, you know, maybe shifting jobs or taking a different career path, or maybe switching majors in college, or maybe it's a different route. You know, just taking this one little turn has put us on a different route to a future that we're able to look at. You're using your solar energy here. This is the Knight of Pentacles. It's at the top of the path of the dove here. And this is you able to project your vision into the future and look at long term. Who you are, where you are, what you're doing down the road. How is this changing the course of my life? How is this one little thing, taking this different job, or going to this restaurant instead of that restaurant, or, putting my left shoe on or my right shoe on? How is that going to change the course of my life? And very often we don't know. Very often we say, I have no idea. It doesn't seem like that's going to make much of a difference whether we went to the movies or to the restaurant, but it does. It's a whole new route. Like, it's really, you're taking a detour. Every choice we make is a detour, right? But the detour is the path. Yeah, it is the route. So we're doing what we can to sort of look into the future and see how this might affect things long term. Okay, doing the best that we can. You have this clarity and this perspective of this Sun card. I feel like you're a very happy person. I feel a very cheerful energy in you, and I feel like you do have this ability to sort of feel things out. Like, you can feel like, yeah, this choice, it's going to lead to good things. I have a good feeling about it, right? So it's kind of an intuition, but it's not even intuition. It's just kind of an internal clarity. It's like you probably have found yourself to be a little clairvoyant, in all honesty. Okay. Now, there's a peppermint smell going on. Is it peppermint tea or peppermint candies, or someone in your life is always with the peppermint? Maybe it's essential oil or something like that in your life, but strong peppermint right now. Yeah, I don't know why. In the past position, we have that Ace of Pentacles. You're a practical person. The Ace of Pentacles is planting the seed. Okay, and this is, we realize that every thought, word, and deed is us planting a seed of karma. The Knight of Pentacles is a card of karma. Every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating who we are, where we are, what we're doing down the road. That's karma. Okay. Every thought, word, and deed changes the picture of the future just a little bit, almost imperceptibly. Right? But it does. I think it's perceptible to you because of the Sun card. I think that you can see the subtle changes, and so it puts you in a highly discerning mode for your life. You know, I think that you're cultivating a vibe. You're cultivating this sort of life, this lifestyle even for yourself, and you can see how any little thing. I think you're a very sensitive person. Any little change, you can see how it's going to affect the overall sort of life, right? So we realize that every thought, word, and deed is a seed of karma planted. Yeah. And that's what we have back here. Everything is a seed. So the current life that you have is a result of all the choices, thoughts, words, and deeds that you've had, that you've planted yesterday. and the day before, and the day before, and even the moment before you watched this video. Clicking on this video was planting a seed of karma, okay? Activating this timeless energy. This is also the card of practical considerations. I'm planting the seed. I got to know what I'm getting into. I can take just handfuls of seeds and I can just go tossing them into the field and hoping for the best. But if I'm relying on those seeds for my future, right, I better pay a little attention. I better do it intentionally, planting them, make sure the soil's right, make sure I've tilled the soil, make sure I've got nutrients and fertilizer, make sure I got the water, pray for rain. Make sure that I sort of check in and I pull the weeds, and I do what needs to be done. So planting the seed in this intentional way, knowing how it's going to affect the future, knowing that our future is going to rely on it. Okay, we have to ask ourselves, what's it going to take? What's it going to cost? What's the investment going to be? Do I have the time, effort, energy, and or money to make this seed grow? Do I want to plant this seed? Is this a seed that's being planted and I'm not going to pay attention to it ever again? So I think you're very aware of the effects of your actions, your choices, decisions, thoughts, words, and deeds. Okay. So this is the seed planting phase, and then we go about gathering the materials and gathering the data and getting the experiences of life and sort of, collecting everything that we need to really make a success of it. And that's what you've been doing in your life, planting the seed and, gaining, harvesting, this planting and harvesting. In between here is a lot, right? From the ace to the 9 is a lot of other pentacle cards. So it's kind of just showing the overall, it's like the beginning and the end, and then we repeat the cycle. And that's why it's an ace and a 9 to make the 10. It's just a repeat. So that's what this new idea is. It's kind of like it's new information, it's a new idea, it's a new consideration of maybe a new seed or a different style seed for you to plant. Maybe a seed that a crop that you've never tried to grow before, a vegetable we've never heard of perhaps. It's something new. Okay, the 4 of Wands in the future position, this is, to me this feels like it's getting the ball rolling with this new thing. I feel like this is, and it's the only fire energy we have. I feel like this is you taking an interest in this new path and going after this new thing with the understanding that you can stop doing it at any point. That you don't have to finish this all the way. You're not committing yourself absolutely to something. But I feel that this is the choice that we're making to say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this other thing today because I'm going to go do this thing, right? So we're sort of we're getting on a different timeline in a way, right? I feel like this is kind of this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I feel that this, because everything is, right? Everything that happens is the first time it's happening. This is like the only time it's going to be there. This is the only moment. So it really puts an importance on every decision we make. And of course, for most people, this might feel a little overwhelming, but for you, I feel like it is a spiritual truth, right? That every decision is it's cosmic in scope, yeah, and has far-reaching effects. So to me, this feels like we're making a choice and we're moving forward with something. And I think that you're going to incorporate this new thing into your life. It feels like it's some kind of it's something to do with money. It's some kind of an investment. It's some kind of it's either spending money or it's some way to sort of invest money and earning it back. It might be like I said, a job change or some kind of minor course correction in your career or something like that. Okay, I feel like this is you sort of taking the adventure, yeah, grabbing the wheel and saying, okay, let's head out in this direction, and knowing that we could get off the ride at any point. right? If at any point we don't feel this is for us anymore, we can say no. Okay? And it's kind of like, for as long as this feels like it's in harmony with our future and our goals and all that stuff, we can stay here and we can continue exploring this new path. But if at any point you don't like it, you can tell them to stop the ride and you can get off. Okay? Now, in the path of the serpent, we've got general energy, we've got the universe card. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is free. This is the universe card. It's the world. This is a card about world creation. This is a card of the reality that we are building. I feel like you're someone who is trying to expand your horizons. You're trying to push the edges of your universe out. You want to know more things. You want to experience new things. You're an adventurer. You are a traveler through both time and space. And I think you like that. I think when some proposal like this comes to you, the first thing you ask yourself is, have I done it before? Right? And if the answer is no, you've never done it before, I feel like you're saying, okay, let's get the ball rolling. Let's see what it's all about. And if you get it and you do it once and you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. This is kind of like, we're very, we're explorers, right? We're very intrigued. We're very experimental. We like to try things once to see if we like it. If we like it, we're going to do it again and again and again. We're going to incorporate it into our lifestyle. And that's why this, is the card of sort of the repeating of the cycle. We don't have to if we don't want to. And it's kind of like if you're very kind of a curious person, right? You may try different foods, different activities, meeting new people, trying new business deals, trying new, auditing some courses in college or something to see what you really like. Especially if it's something you've never done before. You say, I don't know if I like it. Maybe that's why there's no water here. We don't know if we like it. Do you want to go see this movie instead of going to the restaurant? I don't know. I've never made this choice before. Not in this context, this is the first time I'm making this choice. So, if someone is saying, hey, I got an idea, let's go do this. Yeah, okay, let's go do it. We have to be reasonable, obviously. We don't want to act impulsively and get ourselves into trouble, right? But I feel like we're very curious eaters. We want to try the new food. Let's go to that new restaurant. We've never had that cuisine before. Yeah, let's try it. You don't have to like it. But it's kind of like we need to try it at least once, And I think this is how you're pushing the boundaries of your universe. You're including more things in your conception of the universe. Instead of being limited in this little box, you're pushing the edges of your consciousness out every day. I think when presented with a choice, you will always pick the novel thing. The thing that you have not done before, because that pushes the universe out a little bit. So you're somebody with a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience. There's very few people that can talk to you about something, right, about which you know nothing. Because I feel like anything that exists, anything that anybody has done before, you try to have an experience of it or know a little bit about it. Okay, that's why I say you probably read a lot. You probably spend a lot of time, you probably watch a lot of YouTube, right? And because there's so many things to learn about. There's so many things, you could just put it on autoplay and you'll have nonstop learning new things, okay? I think you like to do the new things and not just learn about them because you have this wealth of experience. You're the person that, somebody can go to with an idea or with a proposal, or with some questions about something, or just wanting to talk about something, and you can say, yeah, I am familiar with that. You know a lot about a lot. Yeah. Now, we've got the Queen of Swords in the environment. You're a little bit skeptical. Okay? The Queen of Swords is trying to rise above any of the emotions. That's why we don't see them here. Because we're trying to say, okay, I need to step away from whether or not I think I'm going to like this. And I have to get away from kind of what my ego consciousness is saying, oh yeah, that sounds fun. And let me think about it reasonably. Let me make sure that I'm not making kind of a ridiculous decision, going to get myself in trouble. And regardless of my attraction or aversion to something, I'm going to look at it reasonably. I'm trying to be objective. I'm going to try to just give it the perspective that it deserves, get this bird's eye view of the thing, and not really worry about how I feel toward it right now. But make a decision just based on what we would consider our objective interpretation of the idea. And then once we do it, then we kind of say, okay, how am I feeling about that? What do I feel like it's good for me? Do I feel like it resonates with me? Do I feel like I can incorporate this into my life? Do I want to keep doing it? Right? So we're sort of asking ourselves about that Four of Wands. We're looking at the emotions from outside. We're detaching from them and looking down on them to see how did I feel about that? Right? This is Venus in Aries here with the Four of Wands. And this is, this is the galactic center, right? It's the very center of the tarot table today. This is the axis mundi. This is the point at which all these other cards are swirling around. Because this is, I'm planting a seed of karma, and I have to understand how it's going to affect the rest of my life, and I have to understand if I want to keep doing that, right? If I want to replant this again after the first time is over. It's like you go skydiving once. You say, okay, how do I feel about that? Do I want to do it again? Or do I not want to ever do it ever again? And we're sort of understanding that from not an emotional place, like I was scared, right? Or, I loved it. I feel such a strong attraction to it. But we're trying to be objective and say, okay, despite that sort of pleasant or unpleasant attraction or aversion, is it good for me? Does it make sense in the context of my understanding of who I am and why I'm here, right? Does it make sense, right? Now, the Seven of Pentacles in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. The idea here is that we're going to plant this seed and we're going to fail at it. The only worry here is really that, not that we're going to do it and not like it, but we're going to do it and we're not going to be good at it, or it's not going to work. It's not going to fit into our repeatability, our idea of growth and progress, because this is not growth. This is failure. Okay? This is failure to grow. This is, we planted a seed, but oh dear, we got that instead. Well, I certainly don't want to repeat this mistake. Okay? So the only fear is that we're going to take this opportunity and we're going to see that, well, it didn't really pan out. It didn't really work. It doesn't lead to any growth. It's not meant for me. Regardless of how much I liked it, it's not going to grow. Okay, it's a failed crop. And of course, this is the card we don't want, right? But it's okay if we get this. It's okay if we see that and we say, you know what? It wasn't for me. It didn't work out. It didn't lead to any kind of growth. Now back to the skydiving thing, right? We may be very, very scared, and in our emotional body, we may be saying, no, I never want to do that again. I'm never getting on a plane. I don't even want to look at the sky ever again. But we know that, hey, this is good for me. I'm facing my fears. I'm overcoming. I'm feeling more confident, I guess, doing this. I don't see how, but we know in some other place in ourselves that it's good for us, that we are growing through this experience, right? So this is a very practical look at things, rather than an emotional feeling toward it. We're looking at things very practically. And the final card is the Prince of Pentacles. We're building. We're growing. This is the one who's building the life, building the universe. So I feel like this is something that you're going to try. And, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Okay, you can always get off this merry-go-round. You can always say, okay, I don't want to do it again. I did the skydiving. It's not for me. I don't want to do it. But we have to understand on what basis we're making that decision. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles sees the picture of the best life, and the Prince of Pentacles is building it right here, right now, seed by seed. This is the one who's literally tilling the soil and planting the seeds, covering up the holes and watering and fertilize, really doing the work, right? This is the one that's not doing any work. Not moving at all, not doing anything. Looking, supervising, perhaps, managing, has the bigger picture in mind, this one, but this is the one that does the work. Okay, and this is what you have as your outcome. So I feel like this is something that you're recognizing is going to be good for you. It's going to lead to growth. You may not be good at it at first. So the Seven of Pentacles may be something that it's kind of like, okay, the first time, not really sure if this was working out or not. I'm going to try it again and see. I'm going to try it a few times, right? If we keep trying it again and again, and, maybe we have to repeat this failure a few times before we say, yeah, this isn't resonating with me. Okay, maybe this is an obstacle that we have to confront because this is going to lead to growth. This is maybe a blockage that says, okay, the first couple of times I really sucked at this. I'm going to keep doing it because obviously this is where I need to grow, right? Obviously this is a skill I need to push past. So that maybe that this is actually a very, very good card. But let's make sure that we can assess our situation not on our emotion, but on the practical. If we meet with this failure, your emotions are going to tell you, this sucks, I don't want to do it ever again. But your practical mind or your clarity, your internal sun, may be saying, this is where we need to be because this is how we get to growth. Okay? I do think there's a connection with farmland for you. Spirit's showing me a lot of farmland. I don't know if you come from a farming place or you have a farm or there's some connection there for you, right? Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe a 10 of Pentacles, maybe the water energy, maybe the Leo energy, the lust or strength card. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Page of Cups. We're feeling how we feel about it. So we don't want to ignore our emotions. In some ways, this is teaching us this is part of our own growth, right? So let's not ignore the emotions. The way we emotionally react or respond to something like this is going to teach us a lot about ourselves. Now, we don't want to make decisions based on this, but we do want to use our feelings as data. There's a fish in the percolator here. What does that mean? I feel some kind of emotion going on. What is that telling me? What is it teaching me? I'm not going to just make a decision based on that. Because we know that the emotions change. There may be things that feel good about doing this and things that don't feel so good. It feels good to try something new, but it doesn't feel good to maybe not be so good at it at first, right? So we do want to stay in touch with our emotions, and but not be led around by them. Okay, I think this card is also talking about that intuitive component, the synchronicities in your life. Okay. And I feel that it's going to be, I think that maybe when you first encounter this older male energy that brings this proposal to you or this new idea or this choice, I don't think it's somebody you already know. I think it's somebody you've never met before. I think you're going to have a certain gut feeling about it. I think there's going to be some sort of synchronicity that's going on here. I almost wonder if it's going to be like, you're kind of going to dream it first and then it's going to happen in physical reality. But that's how you know that this is the thing. Okay, so the Page of Cups is representing the fluctuating emotions, a lot of feelings bubbling up, always, right? But it represents kind of something deeper too, which is that sort of gut feeling or the feeling you get when you experience a synchronicity. It's that feeling, okay? And that's something that we do want to also acknowledge and be aware of and try to look at it as objectively as possible, right? I think these are very good predictions for you. I think this is going to be a very interesting detour in your life right now. I think it's going to be very good for you. Okay. I think it is going to lead to growth, right? Whether we're talking financial, physical, spiritual, emotional, or whatever. But there is that abundance of earth energy here. So I think the financial stuff is going to be prominent. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. We'll do oracle cards. We'll do an Jing reading. Okay. New readings for Leo on Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.